Shipping order this morning, Mrs. Walker.
Yes.
There we are. Go.
Morning.
Oh, good morning, Elizabeth.
Well, that is it.
Well, I'm trying to get my breakfast.
Oh.
First the postman comes, then you arrive. A day that starts badly tends to continue badly and usually ends badly.
Yes. You forgot your post.
Oh, thank you, dear.
I don't like the look of the one on the top.
She's that.
Gas bill. You know I'm getting scared to death of opening, man. Every time a bill comes, it's gone up.
Can't be the gas bill, dear.
Oh.
Paid mine 3 weeks ago. Well, really.
Yes,
What
red 'un.
effrontery.
They mean it, Mrs. Walker, so you might as well pay it, or they'll cut you off.
But I have paid it. I paid it 3 weeks ago. I've got the receipt for it.
Yes, well, one bill looks very much like the other. Perhaps it's the electric you paid.
I can tell the difference between a gas bill and an electricity bill. I'm not in my dotage yet.
Well, what I'm saying is that anybody can make a mistake. I mean, there was your television licence. You thought you'd paid that now, didn't you?
That was a simple oversight. It could have happened to anyone.
Yeah.
There we are. Told you I'd paid it.
Obviously their mistake, then.
Obviously. Nationalisation. A bit of healthy competition and they'd have to pull their socks up.
Yeah, it was the computer. That's what's at fault.
Yes, but it won't be the computer I shall be talking to. Oh, dear me, no. I shall be talking to the local manager at least. The egg's as hard as a brick.
Yes, well, you did say you didn't have much hope for the day, didn't you?
What do you think you're doing?
I've just done it.
I was listening to that.
No, you're reading the paper.
I was listening and all. I've got ears as well as eyes, you know.
Well, perhaps if you used your eyes as well as your ears, you'd know you're not the only one who lives in this house.
Meaning what?
Meaning that I, for one, do not want to listen to that row. I have enough of it at the shop all day, screeching down my ears.
I could tell you live off a diet of Radio 1 normally.
Yeah, well, not today.
A day when you can rely on your friends to give you a lift. By heck, must be psychic whoever likes these horoscopes. You know, I've been thinking what's the best thing to do. And it's dead easy, it's simple. All you've got to do is tell your dad where your mum's stopping, then leave him alone to sort it out, which they'd probably do in 5 minutes flat.
No chance. I am not telling him where my mother is. He'd be on to her then, wouldn't you, like he's on to me?
Why is he on to you? He only wants to know where his wife is, which is perfectly natural.
Yeah, he also wants me to go back and live with him.
You what?
You heard?
Are you going?
Oh, yeah. I'm on the next bus, aren't I? I mean, I'd love all that. Skivvying for him, running for him, fetching for him, carrying for him till my feet drop off.
I don't know why you've got it in for him. I really don't.
No, you don't, do you?
Who's a little cutchy-coo?
Eh?
Coochie-coo. Cool. No wonder it takes so long to talking rubbish like that.
She understands what I mean, don't you, darling?
Oh,
Bless your little cotton socks.
Must be a red Indian then.
Oh, dear.
Well, some fellas have got a fine idea about putting up new gutter in, haven't they?
You are.
The off-licensed commercial roadie said he'd be round there first thing this morning. They've been on the phone twice. When he finished playing Happy Families, do you think you could spare him a couple of minutes?
Well, you never know your luck, mate.
Chop, eh? Alan Roberts is a mate of mine.
Oh, Len, before you shoot off, as Rita said out,
What about?
night classes. She said you were coming to these Keep Fit classes with me.
Oh, right, yeah, but she said she might not be able to make it.
Oh, well, tell her not to come crying to me when she's gone to seed.
You already has.
I'll tell her you said that.
Oh, no, don't. No, please.
Oh, I wonder if you could help me. I'm not used to buying clothes for youngsters.
Who's it for?
Peter, my son. It's the right size, according to the label.
Well,
Hi, Ken.
Oh, hi. Only, well, the trousers seem a bit too long.
well, that's how they make them.
What she means is they make them long so you can turn them up to your own size.
Oh, I see.
Saves them making lots of different sizes.
Yeah, it's a good idea, that.
Very bright in the rag trade.
Are you serving him or am I?
You are?
Oh, because you seem to have taken over, so you best carry on.
Oh, dear.
All right, just that way out.
Obviously. I meant to get it while he was here, but we didn't have time.
All right, well, look, if it's the wrong size, bring it back. We don't normally change stuff, but seeing as it's you.
You mean I'm a privileged customer?
Of course.
That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, bye.
See ya. Come again. It's a barrel of laughs working with you.
Well, you what poked your nose in?
I was only trying to help.
Yeah, it'll help to all the world, aren't you?
He needs you, Susie.
Oh, God.
He does. You should have seen him yesterday.
Look, I'll say this for the last time. My mother left him because she couldn't stand it any longer. So now he's lost her as a skivvy, he's looking for another one. Muggins, me. You don't believe a word I'm saying, do you? What is the use?
All right, look, do me a favour. We've got to stay in here till 5:30 tonight. I won't mention your problems again if you don't, all right? After that, if you want to go and stick your head in a bucket, be my guest. Hello, Steve. You asked me to marry you again, have you?
Mrs. Ogden, I do wish you would bring the milk bottles through with you if they're lying on the step. They tend to disappear if they're left there all morning.
All right, Mrs. Walker.
And what do you think you're doing?
Well, it's cup of tea time, isn't it? 11 o'clock.
You've only been here a quarter of an hour.
Oh, yeah, well, I know I was a bit late, but I'll make it up. Oh, you'll get your time out of me, don't fret.
Mrs. Ogden, I have meticulously planned my morning so that I shall be out of this room while you're working in it. Now, I must admit that I overlooked the fact that your capacity for tea is almost equal by your husband's capacity for beer, but I do wish you would make some effort.
In other words, get my finger out.
Your words, Mrs. Ogden, not mine. Half an hour.
Oh, Mrs. Walker,
What is it now?
you're out for digestive biscuits. I thought you'd like to know.
Half an hour.
Hello, love.
What do you want? We've got nothing to say to each other, Dad.
Oh, come on now, love. Listen,
I
please.
did. Last night, I didn't like what I heard. I thought I made that very plain.
Ah, but things get said, don't they, in the heat of the moment? Next day, you forget all about them.
I haven't forgotten what I said.
Come on, love. Think. You wouldn't just have a roof over your head, you know. You'd have a house of your own. To run just like you want. And you soon get a job local. You're a bright kid.
Yeah. Bright enough to see right through you, to know just what I'd be letting myself in for. Like I said, Dad, no way. Do you understand plain English? No.
You selfish little cow. For 21 years I've sweated to put a roof over your head.
Sweated?
21 years!
My mother did all the sweating. You just sat on your backside. Now, please, Dad, go away.
Look, I haven't finished with you, sunshine, not by a long chalk.
Oh, yes, you have. I finished with you years ago when I was old enough to see just what you are. Now, please, Dad, leave me alone.
We'll see about that, won't we? We'll see about it.
So just make sure you get paid cash on the nail when you've done that lot, right?
All right, all right.
Oh, excuse me. The factory over here. Do you know the names of any of the bosses?
Well, the boss is Mr. Baldwin.
Baldwin.
Oh, but if you want to see him, you're going to be unlucky. I'm afraid he's in London today.
Oh.
Well, perhaps my husband could help you. He works at the factory.
Hello.
Ernest, this gentleman was looking for Mr. Baldwin, but I told him he was in London.
Yeah, I'm afraid he is. Anything I can do? I'm wages clerk and general dog's body over the road there.
Well, my name's Birchall, Bob Birchall.
Birchall?
Oh, are you any relation to Susie?
Hi, Dad, yeah. Well, actually, it was Sue I wanted to see Mr. Baldwin about, you see. Well, we've got a bit of trouble at home, you know. My wife, she's gone.
Oh, dear. I'm sorry. She can't have been very old.
Oh, no, I don't mean dead. No, she's just gone. She's left. Without any warning, you know, no reason. You know, just put 21 years of happy marriage behind her, just like that.
Well, I don't quite see what this has got to do with the factory.
Oh, well, Susie wants to come back home, you see, to look after me.
Ah.
But she doesn't, you know, she doesn't want to cause any trouble here, leaving at a moment's notice.
Oh, well, I'm sure Mr. Baldwin wouldn't mind in the circumstances,
Sure he
would he?
wouldn't, no.
So I can take it then that she can leave by the weekend?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We'll be sorry to lose her.
That's a great girl, isn't she? Yeah. Anyway, thanks very much.
Fine.
Much obliged.
Fine.
Ta-da.
What a nice man.
Winters.
Oh.
I don't want the water, love. I've done them.
Without water?
Well, I had some, didn't I?
Clean water?
Well, near enough.
They'll do, I suppose. Thank you, Mr. Ogden.
Thanks very much, love. Ta-da.
Bye.
Oh, Mr. Ogden, I owe you for my windows, don't I?
You do, Mrs. Walker, but if you want to leave it, like, you know.
Pardon?
Well, until things are better. I know what it's like, and you've never let me down.
Would you mind telling me what you're talking about?
Well, tick, like, you know.
Tick?
Unless you want to pay me in kind, like, so we say, a couple of pints at dinner time, you know.
I certainly do not know. Are you seriously suggesting that I cannot pay to have my windows cleaned?
Well, it's a question of priorities, isn't it? Always pay the things they can cut off. That's what I say.
Nobody's going to cut off anything, Mr. Ogden.
Gas will, if you don't pay it.
I see. There is your money, Mr. Ogden. For your information, the gas board have had theirs, and the length of my tongue, which somebody else will be having very shortly.
Oh, Mrs. Walker, the brewery phone, and I said you'd...
Things first, Elizabeth.
Oh.
I want a word with you, and you, Bet, and you too, Mrs. Elton, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Someone in my employment has been spreading gossip, completely unfounded gossip about my financial situation. I want to know who it is.
Huh? Well, it's not me.
No, me.
What sort of gossip?
They're saying I'm so low in funds that I can't afford to pay for Mr. Ogden to clean my windows.
Oh, well, I just did happen to mention it to Stan in passing, but I've not said nothing that wasn't gospel truth. You've not paid your gas bill, have you?
For your information, Mrs. Ogden, I have just returned from the gas showrooms where I showed them the original bill which I paid 3 weeks ago. The reminder should not have been sent. It was a mistake. They admit it, and they have apologized.
Oh, well, that's all right, then,
It is not all right. You should never have looked at that reminder. You were snooping.
Oh, I was never snooping. Shouldn't have left it lying about if you didn't
I
want
did
nobody
not
to see
leave it lying about, but that is beside the point. If you wish to continue working here, Mrs. Ogden, you will regard everything you see and hear as absolutely private. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
I have been in this public house 40 years this very month, and not once in that time have I, or my dear Jack before me, owed a penny to a single soul, which is more than can be said for some people round here.
I'm telling you, Hilda.
Well, we've only got her word for it she's paid it, haven't we?
She's shown me the receipt.
Oh, I'd expect you to stick up for her.
What's all that about?
She got a demand note for a gas bill this morning that she paid a bit back, which just somehow managed to come to the attention of the dreaded Hilda.
Who told Stan?
Who in his infinite wisdom managed to tell Mrs. Walker.
How does he do it?
Hey, I'll just see Annie Walker. One quick word.
Yeah, it'll have to be quick and all, because it's not very easy to talk when your breath's been stopped.
You what?
Out.
All right, no shot.
What are you doing here? I thought you were stopping at work for your dinner.
Not today.
Well, everything's all right, isn't it? I mean, you haven't got the sacker out, have you?
I just wanted a change for a bit of peace and quiet, all right?
Oh, when you thought you'd get it here.
Yeah, at least I won't have Radio 1 screeching down my ears and Gail kicking me dirty looks.
Look, love.
What?
We've got to sort this out, this business about your father.
Look, Elsie, I don't want to talk about it, all right?
Neither do I, but somebody's got to talk about it. We can't go through the rest of our lives like this.
I've told him to get lost. What more can I do?
Well, all right, then. That's finished. There's an end to it, isn't it?
No, it's not the end to it.
Well, of course it is. What else do you think he's going to do? Kidnap you and run off with you under his arm down the street?
You don't know my dad.
Look, are you sure you're not painting him blacker than he actually is?
You and all.
Well, he seems all right. Everybody says so.
Oh, Elsie, can I have a word with Susie?
Hey, you're welcome.
didn't know you came home at this time of the day. I was looking for you at the shop.
Oh, and she just fancied a change.
Oh. Yeah, I was very sorry to hear about your mother.
Eh?
Going off like that.
Who told you?
Your father?
When?
Well, he came to the factory. Well, he met me outside the factory, actually. Now, what I came to say was I may not be able to pay you everything this week, you know, pay you up.
Pay me up?
No, but it's all right. You can leave on Friday. I mean, I'll square it with Mike.
Ernest, what are you talking about? She's not leaving. Are you? No.
I don't understand. Your father said you wanted to go home and look after him. And you didn't want to let us down, so I'm starting the ball rolling.
And you still think I'm painting him blacker than what he is?
It's not true. She doesn't want to leave.
You're shakers like.
But why? What could he possibly hope to get out of it?
Oh, search me. But it's obvious he's prepared to play very dirty.
You finished, love?
Yep, till the next time. Which by my reckoning should be about tomorrow. Do you know when I was a kid, my mum used to fill me head with stories about little girls who got turned into fairy tale princesses and whisked off by knights in shining armour. And I was daft enough to believe her.
This goes to show what a liar your mum was.
She never said a rotten thing about cooking and cleaning and dusting and washing nappies. Still, all goes to show life never turns out how you expect it to.
That's just as well. I got my heart set on taking over from Flash Gordon. I don't even like flying in aeroplanes with my space rockets.
I don't mean like that.
Well, how do you mean?
Well, us. Look at us.
Well, what about us? We've got a little palace, a little princess of his own.
Well, that's just what I mean. Sometimes I have to pinch myself to make sure it's really happening to me.
Ah, you mean you didn't think it'd turn out as it has? Work.
Well, if you remember, there was this idiot called Deirdre Hunt who couldn't stand the sight of this loudmouth yob called Ray Langton.
Ah, yes, but then she scratched the surface and found out that underneath it was solid gold, didn't she?
And the thought of washing nappies used to bring me out in spots, and look at me now.
And I always reckon that babies were the devious plot to bring the drinking classes to its knees.
What happened to us?
We grew up. Not disappointed, are you?
What do you think?
See you at tea time.
Hey, you've got 5 minutes yet, haven't you?
Time for a wet.
Oh, you've got it made, haven't you? Me, Tracy, and the booze.
Yeah, I think so. Still, always were a clever lad. See you.
There you are, lovely.
Very nice.
Hey, you better get another one in. He gets sulky if he's not included in the round, you know.
Oh, thank you, Len. Just a half for me, please, Betty. I've got to work this afternoon, even if these two haven't. Miss Walker about?
About, yes, but unless it's a matter of life and death, lovey.
No, it isn't. I just want to give her this book. She asked me to find it for her, and I dug it out in the library. Oh,
sorry.
Sorry. Thank you.
I'll give it to her.
Right.
What does she want this for?
Oh, just interested, I suppose.
Is there anything about this place in there?
No, it's just, not specifically, it's just about names.
Names?
Yeah, pub names. You can tell a lot about an area from names, you know. For instance, if you see pubs called the Anchor, the Sailor's Farewell, the Bell, the Lighthouse, well, you know you're in a port, don't you? And then, on the other hand, if you see the Weaver's Arms, the Engineer Colliers, you know you're in an area like this.
Oh, that's true. I was born next door to Cloggers. It was pretty old, that, too.
Now, the oldest name around here would be the Ash Tree on Commercial Road.
It's about the coldest pub around here and all. It's like a mausoleum in there.
How come the ash tree?
Well, because trees and shrubs and stakes in the ground are one of the oldest methods of showing the whereabouts of an alehouse.
I don't see why they should have to have names.
So your missus will know where you are.
I know if you're interested, I'll let you borrow it when Mrs. Walker's finished with it.
No, thank you, mate.
Well, Amy probably wrote it. He's done enough research into it, I tell you.
Hey, Ken, I don't suppose you know when Jack and Annie Walker moved in here.
Moved in here?
Well, it was something she said earlier on about 40 years this month.
Oh, well, I expect she'd have been here then.
Who's your funny friend?
You weren't even a gleam in your daddy's eye then, were you, love?
Ah, but she's been a filthy leer on fellas' faces ever since.
Shut it, Langton.
Look, I know that Billy is 39 this year, and he was born here, so it must be roughly 40 years, but as for the exact date...
Hey, 40 years is a long time, isn't it?
Calls for a celebration, that, don't it? It's about time we had a knees up in here.
Annie wouldn't thank you for that. She wouldn't like to be reminded she's been in here 40 years.
But do you believe her dad's as bad as she makes out?
I don't know what to believe. But it's not like Susie to make it up, is it?
Trust you to be on her side.
Well, it's not.
I just don't believe her, that's all. I reckon she's got it in for him. Something he did to her as a kid. Kicked a teddy bear or something.
Oh, that's daft, that is. Psychological claptrap.
Get him.
Look, Gail, it'll all blow over. Take it from me. Susie's not the sort to stop down in the dumps for long.
And that's why you like her, is it?
Well, she's not, is she? She's not the type.
What type am I?
Eh?
You heard? What type am I?
I don't know.
You've known me as long as you've known Susie. You seem to know what type she is. What type am I?
Well, you're different, aren't you?
Different.
Different.
Oh, come on, Steve. You can do better than that.
Well, Susie's so... I don't know. Well, she's so full of life, ain't she?
And if I'm different, then I'm not full of life. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Then what are you saying?
Hey, hang on a minute. I've played this game before.
What game?
You know, winding me up. Women do that.
You know a lot about women, do you?
There you go again. You and Susie are different, chalk and cheese, but that's not to say that you're not, well...
Not what?
All right. Nice.
Nice. Well, she's not full of life at the moment, is she?
Oh, I still say she'll come bouncing back.
Words wouldn't come in an easy way. You going somewhere?
Yeah, I am.
Where?
I'm just going.
Where?
Anywhere. Anywhere you can't find me. Look, Elsie, thank you for everything. I've left my rent on the dressing table, all right?
Now, just a
Look,
minute.
just let me go, okay?
Come on, it's me you're talking to. Now, what good is running away going to do? Now, come on.
Look, you've seen how far he'll go to get me back. You saw that at dinner time. Embarrass him like that at work. And he'll not stop there, Elsie. He will not be off your doorstep. At least by my going, I'll get him off your back. It's my problem, Elsie, not yours.
Now, look. As long as you're under my roof, it's my problem too. It's my battle, and I'm prepared to fight it with you. Now, if you want to run away, I'm not going to stop you. But if you want to stay and fight, I'm with you all the way. Now, it's up to you. Ah, come on, baby. She's all right.
Morning, lovely.
He's not them up and about yet.
Well, she's on a second cup of tea.
Has she twigged about party, do you reckon?
I was just wanting...
Good morning, Mrs. Walker.
Good morning. Good morning. Do you think I might issue a tiny order of the day?
Be my guest.
Well, it's about the bar. It's been rather dirty lately.
Well, that's Hilda's job to do the bar.
Indeed it is. But once it is clean, it's up to you, Elizabeth, and you bet to keep it that way. Not awash with beer and cigarette ash as it was last night. Now, it only needs a little effort to maintain a decent standard.
Yeah, why do we bother?
Because we're simple.
Simple? We're stark staring mad. Look, she tears strips off us as if we're old wallpaper hanging on damp walls. Here we are trying to organise a surprise party for her and all. I don't know why we bother.
Well, it's too late to stop now. We've set wheels in motion. Any road I've laid the grub on. Watch it, keel, Kate.
Oh, hello. Something going on round here, isn't there? Well, I work here and all, you know. I'm entitled to know about it.
Hilda, keep it out, eh?
I'll find out sooner or later, don't you fret.
Oh, you will, Hilda. You will.
What else does she say?
Well, hang on. I've not read it myself yet.
Has anybody seen my mascara?
Yeah, it's on the sideboard. Susie's just had a letter from her mum.
Oh, what's she got to say?
Well, she's going to stay with her friend Edie a bit longer till she sorts herself out, you know. Thank God your father's not found me yet. Please, please, please don't tell him where I am.
Oh, that sounds like a cry from the heart, that does.
You know, I don't know she's stuck here for 20 years. I don't, honest.
You're ever so stupid. I got it all wrong about your dad. I'm ever so sorry, Susie, but you really made me believe you were getting at him.
He's very good at that. People that don't live with him think he's lovely.
Well, I'm sorry I got it muddled up. And I'm sorry I interfered.
Oh, forget it. It's not your problem anyway. I'm just not bothered as long as he doesn't get on to my mother and as long as he leaves me alone.
Maybe he's given up. We've not seen him for nearly a week.
Yeah, well, perhaps somebody told him he's got me to cope with, so he's lying low.
Well, you've had a lot of practice of putting the wind up, fellas, haven't you, Elsie?
I'm not quite sure how to take that remark.
Oh, good, she'll like that. Yeah, I'm sure she will. Tra.
Is that the brewery you're on to?
Yeah, they're sending a VIP along about 9 o'clock. One of your actual Cresswell family.
Oh, she'll like that, you know. She sort of looks on them as a minor royalty. I hope.
Oh, you think you're very clever, don't you, the pair of you?
Yeah, we do.
I know when I'm being talked about behind my back, you know.
Yeah, we were talking about something, Hilda. It wasn't you, lovey.
What were it about, then?
We're not telling you.
Oh, it's like that, is it? Well, how do I know it's not something I should know about? Like something to do with my position in this pub, for instance. Oh, I think I'd better have a word with Mrs. Walker. I mean, if there's something her bar staff know that I don't.
Hey, no, Hilda, don't go bothering Mrs. Walker. Look, we'll tell you. We're organising a surprise party for her.
A surprise party?
She doesn't know. It's a surprise. That's why it's called a surprise party.
Yes, you see, she's been landlady here 40 years this month. So you see, Hilda, it is a sort of a milestone.
Oh, yeah. 40 years. Now, that's ruby for weddings. I don't know what it is for pubs, though.
Well, that's why we didn't tell you see, Hilda. We didn't want it getting all over the place and getting back to Mrs. Walker.
Oh, well, it wouldn't have got all over the place from me. I can keep a confidence, you know. I could have helped you plan things. I think it's very hurtful not letting me in on it.
Yes, well, we know you'd have kept it dark, Hilda, but you're married, aren't you? You might have talked in your sleep, and then your Stan would have blabbed it round.
Look, I don't talk in my sleep, and even if I did, Stan wouldn't listen.
Going out, Mrs. Walker?
Just a small shopping expedition, dear. Everything under control.
How do you mean?
Everything's fine, Mrs. Walker.
Good, good. I nearly panicked there. For a minute, I thought she suspected something.
Ah, well, if she does, she hasn't got it from me, and nobody can say she has.
She doesn't know a thing. She can't know. She won't half get an eye opener tonight.
Something else, isn't there? I know that look of yours. Like a cat that knows where there's a budgie's cage open. You've got something up your sleeve, haven't you?
I might have. In fact, I have. But you'll just have to wait till tonight to find out what it is. Both of you. Go on, I'll take them.
What do you want a pair of passion killers for?
Oh, are you joking? I'm hoping they're going to be passion rousers. Either for me, keep fit class, it's me night tonight. Ray minds Tracy and I go leaping about.
No, I don't fancy that myself. All that bending and stretching, it's like PT at school.
Oh, no, it's a lot of fun. I reckon it's doing me good and all.
I've got a delivery for you.
Which of you's nobbled him, then?
Chance to be a fine thing.
Well, perhaps he's shy, he just needs a bit of encouragement.
Oh, I've given him encouragement. I'm wasting my time, he fancies her.
He's wasting his time.
Oh, what's up with him? He seems a nice-looking lad.
I think he's lovely.
Well, you crackers, you. Yeah, he's all right, but he's a bit wistful for me. You know, a bit like your pet dog, Rover. No, I fancy something a bit more exciting myself.
That's the second time you've called him a dog.
Well.
Ta-ra.
Oh.
Woof, woof. Some more jeans and some denim waistcoats, I think.
Drop a cup of tea, Steve. I can put the kettle on. It's no trouble.
Oh, I haven't got time, love. I've got a lot of stuff to drop off at the station. Susie, do you mind if I say something?
Oh, depends what it is.
Well, it's, like about your dad. You know, when you were saying what he was like, I thought you were laying it on a bit. Well, I'm sorry I didn't believe you from the start.
Oh, forget it. You've never met him.
No. Anyway, if you need any help, if you want me to do anything, you only have to say. Well, I best be going.
Try, Steve.
He'd do anything for you.
Yeah, but I don't reckon he'd do it very well.
I would like to ask a question. How are you going to organise a party for Annie Walker in her own pub without her finding out?
I will answer that, Ken, with great difficulty. But she's not sussed anything yet. Now, while I think about it, there's the grub.
Now you're talking.
Now, I've ordered it from Robinson's for this afternoon, but obviously they can't deliver it here, so really what I'm looking for is a volunteer to take it in and mind it well tonight.
All right, I don't mind.
Sorry, Stan. No way, love.
Why not?
For the same reason as they wouldn't employ you as a night watchman in a brewery, Chuck.
Is Deirdre in this afternoon, Ray? Because I don't think any of the rest of us are.
Yeah, she is. It can come to our house.
OK, I'll ring Robinson's and tell them. Only just make sure it's looked after, that's all.
They're a bit safer now, please. I'll make sure I wouldn't touch them. Ta-ra.
Oh, and by the way, you have a visitor. Susie's father.
Oh, have I? I half expected it.
Well, he's battering on the door like he's demented.
Is he, Bayekers like?
Trouble? Yes, but I rather think Elsie can handle it.
She usually does.
I think you'd better come in unless you want the whole street to know about your family affairs.
Look, it's Susie I want, Mrs. Howard.
She's not here. Sit down, Mr. Birchall. Go on, sit down. Now, don't you think it'd be a good idea if you left her in peace for a bit?
It's none of your business. I know what's best for her. She's my daughter.
Yes, she also happens to be a grown-up young woman as well. And if she doesn't want to live with you and be at your beck and call, that's something you've got to accept.
Her place is at home.
Yeah, but what you're overlooking is her home is where she wants to make it. And that doesn't happen to be with you at the moment. Oh, look, think of her for a minute. She's a young woman. She's got a whole life in front of her and she's happy where she is. And shouting the odds at her isn't going to get her back to you.
Oh, I see. It's all her side of the story, isn't it? It doesn't occur to you that I've got a point of view, does it?
I don't think I want to hear it, Mr. Birchall. Now, why don't you stop hounding her and just get your own affairs organised? And I'm sure if you did that, she'd think a lot more of you.
Oh, it's beginning to make sense, Mrs. Howard.
I'm not with you.
All her cheek and impudence. I can see where she's getting it from. You're never like this at home, you know. Still, I suppose if you live with somebody long enough, you get to be like...
Now, just a minute, Mr. Birchall.
No wonder she won't be told when she's learning from somebody like you. I've heard a few things about you, Mrs. Howard. You're well known around here. Well, I'm not having my daughter turning out like you. No, thank you very much.
Get out of here before I land you, well, so help me, I will.
My God, you would too, wouldn't you?
I will. Now, get out, now.
Don't worry. I've said all I need to say to you, Mrs. Howard. Right, you coming home?
I am not, Dad. Will you leave me alone?
Get in the car,
Dad,
you're
will
coming
you leave
home.
me?
Get in the car!
Leave me alone, will you, Dad?
Look,
Leave
get in the car! I'm going to call her.
I'm not coming home, Dad.
Hey, what's going on? You keep your nose out. Get in. Get over in the other
Hey,
seat.
look, just leave it alone.
Get
Take your
over.
hands off her.
No, shut up. Get over.
Let go of her.
Right, big man. Whoa!
Are you all right?
You've hurt him.
Right, I've done with you. The lot of you. You can do what you like. But don't come running to me for help when you're in trouble. You're just like your mother, where you can... I've done with both of you, right?
Are you really all right?
Hey, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. It's good riddance, but are you okay?
Well, I'm not too sure.
Fancy you, Sir Galahad. Well, sort of. Can't help laughing though when I think of Steve. He came galloping across that road like St George and the dragon. The only trouble was the dragon walloped him.
He was only trying to help. It shows how lovely he
Oh
is.
dear, I know, he looked so astonished. You should have seen him. Oh, I shouldn't laugh. It wasn't funny at the time.
I don't think it's funny now.
Well, just as long as my dad stays away, I don't care. I don't want to see him again, ever. Oh, that's not him, is it?
I'll go.
Hello.
Hello. We were just talking about you, Steve. Saying how lovely you were this dinner time, weren't we, Susie? It's just nerves. I heard you were a real hero.
I didn't do anything. I just got in her dad's way a bit.
That's not what I heard. I heard you were wonderful.
Oh. Well, I wasn't really.
Hey, look, there's this do-on at the Rovers tonight, 'cause Annie Walker's been there 100 years or something. Do you fancy going?
Oh, are you going, Susie?
No, I don't fancy it.
Oh, me neither.
You know, you sometimes sound like a record of a...
Evening. Evening. Well, here we are. What is it they used to say in them old films? Let the good times roll. Where's Mrs. Walker?
In the sitting room, and that's where we wanted to stop until we're good and ready for
We've
her.
got a kitty, haven't we? Give us a pint.
Hilda, there's a nice big glass of sherry for you on the house if I can borrow your stand for 2 minutes.
Follow him. What do you want him for?
Secret mission.
Oh, stop mucking about. Give us a pint, though.
Can I have him, Hilda?
Yeah, all right, go on then.
Hey,
Hey, but think on. He's a respectable married man. I want him back in the same condition as when he left here.
Ray, will you leave that food alone?
I'm only looking.
Just keep your hands off it.
Hey, thought you said you were going to go to a class to do them exercises. What's all this then, homework?
I'm just loosening up.
Great. Always fancied a loose woman.
You get off. Hey, you could do with doing a few exercises yourself, you know.
Me? Fit as a fiddle, me.
Oh, yeah?
Can it be in the odd
carrier? What are you doing, practicing pokey-cokey for next to lunch?
No, it's me exercises.
Oh, you've started going to the evening class at Bessie Street.
That's the party stuff.
What's the hurry?
No hurry, I want a pint, that's all.
Just a minute, let me have a look. Ray, you've been sampling the eats, haven't you?
Well, I did just taste a pint, a couple of butties. They're very good.
Honestly, anybody think I'm ever
That'd have
fed
been
in?
safe at our place, but you wouldn't listen, would you?
All right, all right. It's not an hanging job, is it? Any road, at least my figure can stand a bit of guzzling, unlike some I could mention.
He's right, you know, love. I mean, I wouldn't mention it, but you could do with some exercise, like Deirdre.
Stanley Ogden, may God forgive you. Come on, let's get this grub to the Rovers. And Ray, you've had your eats already, so no second helpings, all right?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, I better be making tracks and all. Listen, love, are you looking on Tracy at about 8 o'clock?
Yeah, OK.
Don't wake her up if she's asleep.
I know I look daft, but I'm not really, you know. Hey, what about a kiss?
Oh. It's all right.
Time you coming home?
Oh, about 9:30.
Well, get back as quick as you can, and then we can have the last hour at that rave-up. I've arranged for Emily Bishop to take over here.
Oh, aren't you the crafty one?
Good looking with it and all.
Oh, smashing, you've got the Joanna sorted out. Stan, put the food on these tables, please.
By heck, I've earned that pint.
Will you wait your sweat and stop yattering? I can't think now. Have we got everything?
Everything but the leading lady.
A pint of bitter, please.
Hang on a minute, we're trying to sort things out. I think everything's straight and most of the people are here, love.
Right, Betty. Go and get her through.
OK,
Now, remember, when she comes through, give her a bigger raise.
I'm only trying to get a pint, I can't get one.
Oh, look him over, you big soft lump. Haven't you supped enough?
I've supped out yet, have I?
You will be, Colin.
Mrs. Walker, have your minute, lovey. Here I am, Elizabeth.
Yes. Hip, hip!
What's going on? It's a little party for you. We've laid it all on, and all you've got to do is just enjoy it. 40 years at the Rovers' return with you, Mrs. Walker. That's what we're celebrating. Come on.
She's a jolly good fellow. She's a jolly good fellow. She's a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us.
I'm very moved. I don't know what to say.
How about takes all round?
Oh, that's a good idea. Mr. Ogden, you've solved my problem perfectly. Elizabeth, Betsy, everybody has a
Right, all the very best, Mrs. Walker. Everything you wish yourself.
Congratulations. We hope to see you for many years to come in the Rovers, darling.
Thank you. It's a wonderful gesture. Everybody's been so kind.
And we're all very pleased to be part of it, Mrs. Walker. But I gather it was Bet and Betty's idea.
Well, I'm as fortunate with my staff as I am with my customers. Elizabeth, Bet, I'm very touched.
Oh, it's a great pleasure, Mrs. Walker. Just enjoy the evening.
Mrs. Walker, do you mind telling me something?
Yes, dear.
You've got your best frock on. You only ever wear that for special occasions.
That's true. And I think I know what you're suspecting. But you see, dear, after 40 years on these premises, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that escapes my notice.
Well, I'll be blowed, and I thought we'd kept it a dead secret.
Well, Mrs. Walker, there's at least one thing that you know nothing about.
Aye.
Len, will you do the necessary if we're all set?
Certainly.
What's she up to now, Elizabeth?
I don't know, Mrs. Walker. It's as big a mystery to me as it is to you, love it.
You ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0!
What a wonderful surprise.
Even a filthy beggar like that has got a protecting angel.
Boring sitting here. Wish I hadn't given Barry the push now.
Who?
Barry, that rugby player.
You said you didn't like him. You said he gave you the creeps.
He did. But at least he was male. And available. Oh, come on, let's go to that do at the Rovers.
I don't fancy it. Go, you go.
I don't want to go on my own. Come on, it'll cheer you up.
They'll all be talking, won't they, about me in the bus stop in the street with my dad?
No, they won't. Well, yes, they will, but they'll all be on your side.
Don't. You go. I mean, I've got nothing to wear.
Yes, you have. You can wear that green blouse.
It's Elsie's.
Yeah, but it looks good on you. Go on, I dare you.
Bonnie River.
I've saved that.
You know, it must be great just
just getting on a plane and flying over like that. You must be doing very well out there, Billy.
Not bad.
Huh?
I must say, Billy, your turning up like that was one of the nicest things I could have wished for.
It wasn't me, you know, Annie. It was Bet's idea. I just picked him up when he landed and kept him hidden until the right moment.
Yeah, until Bet phoned me up in Jersey, I had no idea you clocked up 40 years in here.
40 years this month.
This is? That must make it, what, 1937?
40 years is almost a lifetime. I had no idea you'd be here that long, Mrs. Walker.
Oh, you must remember that I was very young when we started. I mean, when Jack and I came here, I was barely old enough to set foot in licensed premises, let alone run one.
Excuse me. Hello, you two. Hello. You're looking very nice in that blouse. It suits you very well.
Thank you. Yeah, it suits, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you can have it.
Oh, thanks, Elsie.
Yeah, it'll only cost you £5.
Yeah, do you fancy a butty? That's ham and them's cheese and onion. But before you say out, any finger marks on the bread's got nothing to do with our stand.
Who have they got to do with?
Ray Langton, he was put in charge of them. Big mistake.
I don't think we're very hungry, Hilda.
Oh, well, suit yourself. They're very nice.
How are you feeling, Susie? I'm fine, thanks. It must have been an awful experience.
Well, I'm trying not to think about it, actually.
Hey, in earnest, a good play. Shall we go listen to it?
Yeah.
I can't help thinking how your father would have enjoyed himself tonight.
Hey, he liked this place, didn't he?
He loved it. Always something of a mystery to me, but he did.
No, you're not going to let this party get you all depressed, are you?
No, love. I'm just wondering where the 40 years have gone to. It seems like no time at all.
Well, pretty packed 40 years, wasn't it?
Yes, indeed. We may not have lived through the most gracious period in the history of the world, but nobody can say it hasn't been eventful. They've been happy years, Billy. Not all of them, of course. But I do know I've been a very fortunate woman. With your father, of course. And with my children.
Excuse me for butting in, Mrs. Walker. Mr. Cresswell's here from the brewery.
Mr. Cresswell, how very kind of him.
Young Mr. Cresswell. I think he wants to make a speech.
And I think that this party here tonight, this, as it were, spontaneous tribute, tells us something very important of how Mrs. Walker's customers, no, I should say her friends, feel about her. Now, I'm not going to stand here all evening holding up the celebrations or preventing the sale of Newton and Ridley's excellent ales. But I must say this. We at Newton and Ridley's also feel very strongly about Mrs. Walker. For 40 years now, the Rover's Return has been a byword for those qualities which we most value in a public house. Courtesy, friendliness, and of course a certain very individual style. The seasoning, shall I say, which provides all these other qualities with their finest flavour. Mrs. Walker, we at Newton and Ridley's would like to present you with this silver tray as a tribute to your 40 years at the Rover's Return and as a token of our appreciation, affection, and esteem.
Thank you, Mr. Cresswell. Thank you very much. It's really lovely.
Ernie, play something.
Yes, I've got
Time and all. What the hell?
Ray,
What's happened?
man, follow me. I'm nearly home.
Where?
Viaduct.
Are you all right?
I think so. Ray.